Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the plot of land that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. Jesus, tired from his journey, sat down there at the well. It was about noon. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." His disciples had gone into town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "How can you, a Jew, ask me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" For Jews use nothing in common with Samaritans. Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God, and who was saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, "Sir, we do not even have a bucket, and the cistern is deep. Where then can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this cistern and drank from it himself, with his children and his flocks?" Jesus answered and said to her, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I shall give will never thirst. The water I shall give will become in him a spring of water, welling up to eternal life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water, so that I may not be thirsty, or have to keep coming here to draw water." Jesus said to her, "Go call your husband and come back." The woman answered and said to him, "I do not have a husband." Jesus answered her, "You are right in saying, 'I do not have a husband,' for you have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. What you have said is true." The woman said to him, "Sir, I can see that you are a prophet. Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you people say that the place to worship is in Jerusalem." Jesus said to her, "Believe me, woman, the hour is coming when you will worship the Father, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You people worship what you do not understand. We worship what we understand, because salvation is from the Jews. But the hour is coming and is now here, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. And indeed the Father seeks such people to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." The woman said to him, "I know that the Messiah is coming, the one called the Christ. When he comes, he will tell us everything." Jesus said to her, "I am he, the one speaking with you." At that moment his disciples returned, and were amazed that he was talking with a woman. But still no one said, "What are you looking for?" or "Why are you talking with her?" The woman left her water jar and went into town and said to the people, "Come see a man who told me everything I have done. Could he possibly be the Christ?" They went out of the town and came to him. Meanwhile, the disciples urged him, "Rabbi, eat." But he said to them, "I have food to eat of which you do not know." So the disciples said to one another, "Could someone have brought him something to eat?" Jesus said to them, "My food is to do the will of the one who sent me, and to finish his work. Do you not say in 4 months the harvest will be here? I tell you, look up and see the fields ripe for the harvest. The reaper is already receiving payment and gathering crops for eternal life, so that the sower and the reaper can rejoice together. For here the saying is verified, that one sows and another reaps. I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. Others have done the work, and you are sharing the fruits of their work." Many of the Samaritans in that town began to believe in him, because of the word of the woman who testified, "He told me everything I have done." When the Samaritans came to him, they invited him to stay with them, and he stayed there for 2 days. Many more began to believe in him because of his word. And they said to the woman, We no longer believe because of your word, for we have heard for ourselves, and we know that this is truly the Savior of the world. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
You do not have to receive from the chalice. You do not have to receive the host. The precaution of do not take Holy Communion, it goes way back. The original and the standing precaution and prohibition came from the church. You do not have to take Holy Communion if you are in a state of serious sin. Fix the moral and spiritual sickness, then come and receive the sacrament. And civil authorities once had a say in our sacrament. In early Rome, communion was prohibited. And it was not for health concerns, but to eliminate, it was an attempt to eliminate Catholic worship. And communion was considered, even by the pagans, cannibalistic. They believed in it, even though they didn't believe in God, because they heard that the Catholics were eating the flesh and the blood, drinking the blood of Jesus. So those are the original prohibitions. You do not have to receive from the chalice. The fullness of the consecrated Christ is in the consecrated host. The shared chalice, which emerged from the altar, came about 50 years ago. And if you've ever been to a mega Catholic parish, you see sometimes it's like 12 chalices. We have 2. It returned to the people only about 50 years ago. For centuries, the blood of Christ was only for the priest to consume. Why? It was a way of keeping the blood of Christ in the church from his Last Supper all the way to today, but keep it in a central location. Keep it in the church, the altar, and then in the priest. And it would reinforce the priest's identity for himself and to the people as being in persona Christi. He was the one who received the blood of Christ. And so the blood of Christ was always here, but it was highly, highly protected for many centuries. Have you ever seen the precious blood spilled? It's not a good scene. Maybe and hopefully we haven't seen it physically fall. But the precious blood is spilled in another way. Emptied onto the floor. Not just with shaky hands or a bad handoff. The precious blood is spilled with shaky faith. How? When we Catholics receive it and then later on call it the wine, or in days like these, allow other people to define us, state officials to categorize us with all other Christian churches, and call this communion wine, and not stand up for the precious blood. Not say, no, it's not communion wine, it's precious blood. That's the way that we Catholics ourselves spill it onto the floor and empty the chalice of its meaning. As the blood of the Lamb spared the Hebrews from death on that first Passover night, when their doorpost and the lintel was marked, the Agnus Dei saves the soul from separation from God. The blood of the Lamb was not symbolic to the Hebrew people back then. It saved them, body and soul. And it's not symbolic now to Catholics. So we refuse the categorization that we'll get lumped into. This is communion wine. You want to do something for your church? Stand up for our beliefs. Plagues of panic. It goes back to the Exodus account. Check it out. Everybody was panicking in the Exodus account. Egyptians, Hebrews, everybody was panicking except for Moses. Check it out. It's all there. The panic of a material people is when? It's when their material world is being threatened. And that's the dead giveaway of what they believe in and what they don't believe in. Because if you put all your hope in the material world and things just start to get pulled away, it's a reflection. You think that's all that there is. And the material people will listen to the high priest, not spiritual priest, but the high priest of the material world. That's the Dathan character in the Exodus account. Have you seen this toilet paper craze? Some people are going out of their way to provide for the needs of their human stink hole more than their soul. That's the panic of material people. That's a reflection of what they really believe in, which is sad, but true. Moses was at the receiving end of lots of grumbling. His people all believed in God, but they easily lost sight of God, surrendering to their material fears when the times got tough, and they would say, "Is the Lord in our midst or not?" And the first reading you heard, the Lord responded through Moses. He gave him water from the hard place of the rock. And the message is, have faith. I will provide. Even from the hard and impossible places, have faith. You're just being put to the test. If you receive communion today, and blood from the chalice in particular, maybe you say this: even though I walk in the valley of death, I will fear no evil. Mass is the opportunity to re-up every week on the things that we will not fear in life, and to hear and to receive and recommit to spiritual beliefs. And we remember this about the Lord. He never promised that we would be free from pain and suffering. That's the devil's power. The devil promises, I'll take away your pain, physical pain, material discomfort. That's the devil's pact, not the Lord's. The Lord's was, I'll take away your spiritual pain and suffering and save your souls. Remember the Lord's warning? Save your life in this world. Try to accumulate the things that will save your body in this world, give you comfort, lose it in the next. You don't have to give a sign of peace. You don't have to touch anyone at Mass. You may touch the Lord, as the woman did, who touched the hem of his garment, and power left the Lord and went inside of her, and she walked away healed. You can touch him when you receive the sacrament. But there's no rule saying you have to touch anybody else during Mass. And do you have to be here in church at Mass? Is there anything here that you can't get anywhere else? Jesus said this today. We worship what we understand. He was talking to people who were worshiping the things they didn't understand. We worship what we understand. The hour is coming, is now here, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. And indeed the Father seeks such persons to worship Him. Our worship is our defense, and we do it in prayer and faith, head, heart, body, in spirit, in truth. And the Father seeks people like us to come here and worship, because His hour of worship steadies us for the rest of the week. When the Hebrews stopped praying and stopped believing, that's when they started to panic, react, worry, listening to Dathan over Moses. And that's when they made the golden calf. They stop praying. Our hour of worship is our hour to settle down and submit to the Lord. Let go of what was Get ready for what is to be every single week. It's always the end of one week when we're here and the beginning of the next. Alpha, Omega. The beginning, the end. We worship God as He is. Beginning, end, beginning, and those cycles. We know what we worship when we come here. It refills us and renews us, strengthens us. And we are glad